Today's Ball Hog Sports Talk. The title, Fair Fight. We decided to start with the center court, and while I wanted to stick to sports this week during center court, my conscience simply wouldn't let me do it. Maybe it's because good old Jason Whitlock decided to blast LeBron again, as Mr. Whitlock continues his crazy narrative that black folks just love embracing victimhood. Maybe it's because Congress, our U.S. Congress, seems to continue putting black issues on the back burner. Don't believe me? Well, think about it. In the year 2021, while we all watched the Derek Chauvin trial, our U.S. Congress, they've passed, the Equality Act, a landmark LGBTQ rights bill that prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity in numerous arenas, including employment, housing, and education, among other institutions. In this same calendar year, 2021, Congress, they've passed the Anti-Hate Crimes Bill on behalf of Asian Americans. And the bill is aimed at addressing a surge in attacks on Asian Americans amid this COVID-19 pandemic. The bill creates a Justice Department position focusing on the issue and beefs up state and local hate crime reporting. While I am happy, absolutely happy, for both our LGBTQ and Asian American brothers and sisters, I am. It just baffles me that at the exact same time, I hear a sitting U.S. senator, which happens to be black, I hear that senator proclaim, America is not a racist country. At the same time I hear that, these bills are passed for our LGBTQ and our Asian American brothers and sisters, but the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, that stalls. It stalls in Congress. Is it me? Or does this simply seem like it's absolutely not a fair fight? At least when it comes to black issues in this white America. And that's a word. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Because this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go. What up, y'all? You know what it is. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration in the building with my man, the Big Flo Show. What's up, Big Flo? I couldn't hear you. That means you're muted, man. I don't know why you muted yourself. I can't mute myself. Yeah, you can't mute yourself. The people want to hear what you got. What's up with you again, Big Flo?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
What's good, America? How y'all doing?
You know what it is, man. I had to get some stuff off my chest early, so we started center court. But you know what it is. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk, where sports, business, and entertainment collide, man. So let's make sure all three of them collide. We got to start with a little bit of sports, man.
Whoa. Hold on. Before we get started, man. Before we get started on this sports thing and everything in the show, finally a chance for you to go LaMelo. Except for the fact he dropped a four-piece. He only scored 2 more buckets than me.
I don't feel
I mean, you know.
I feel like you're hating. I feel like you hating on LaMelo. Oh, you think you're gonna stop me from going LaMelo?
I mean, what's up? Man. He came back. The Savior came back, and they still talk about playing. They try to get to a playing game.
First
something
of all,
like a pimp.
In this week's episode of Melo, I could have started with Carmelo because he is up to top 10 all-time scoring. And I know y'all be beefing with me, and I talk about he's a top 50 all-time. Y'all laughed at me.
They call that deflection.
Yeah, it is deflection. Well, look, I'm going to call it.
Rhyme with LaMelo, so I should be cool, is what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I'll go to Mount Rushmello, and Mount Rushmello on the other side of Father
the most famous Mellows? Is that where we have
the most famous Mellows? The most famous Mellows, Mount Rushmello. And on the other side, the young buck, Love Mello, is back. And he didn't. Last night wasn't his best performance, but look, they're still in the A spot, in the play-in spot, which we'll talk about that because LeBron seems to think this whole concept of play-in is played out. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, he still should be Rookie of the Year despite the injuries, despite the 4-piece last night. LaMelo got Rookie of the Year.
Who's up for it?
Tied up, man. This is. He already dusting off the mantle. He got his spot. LaMelo is Rookie of the Year, who just didn't play Rookie of the Year-ish last night.
I'll give you that.
They're dangerous, man. You better watch out for Charlotte, man, in that play.
I'll give you that, but you better not drop them 4 pieces like that. Like when people start forgetting about the first half.
For real. Come on,
pre and post-injury Melo.
4 points, bro. Like, come on, man. We gotta do better than that, Melo. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. You brought it up like that. But you can hang in there, Melo. Hang in there, my brother. He gotta get his mojo right. I wanted to start before you just threw shade at my man Melo.
I mean, just gotta warm up.
Threw some shade, man. I wanted to start this fair fight episode of the Ball Hog Sports Talk with what is being called maybe not a fair fight. We got DK Metcalf, who we saw did his thing on the field. I think he was clocked close to 30 miles an hour. I'm exaggerating a bit. That's hyperbole, but he was clocked at the fastest time on the field when he was chasing down someone after an interception. That was a famous play, SB worthy, the type of hard work and the type of effort you want on your team. But now he is saying that's not enough. Y'all thought I was fast on the field. Watch me run. Watch me now. He gonna see how he fares against professional track athletes in the Golden Games tomorrow on NBC. DK Metcalf puts the cleats aside, puts on the track spikes. Is this a fair fight? Will he have a chance against professional track athletes with the spikes on? What does DK Metcalf do in prime time? It's the Golden Games. DK Metcalf strapping them up, and they go be spikes. What does he do?
I believe, look, if he doesn't pull a hammy, which we all know hamstrings are there, I think if he doesn't pull a hamstring, I think he's got a shot. He's a track kid. I mean, he was a hurdler, right? He did some stuff with the track.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did some. So he's coming out the
block. He looked
like
a beast in high school. The pictures don't look right. He just too.
Wait till you see how thick he's going to look tomorrow. That's going to look like a monster out there running.
But
I think, look, they say if he had ran whatever he was, I don't know if it was 24 miles per hour. I can't see it right now. Whatever they said, if he'd have run that for the whole 100-yard dash, he would have ran a 9.88. But it's all right. Well, you don't get to your speed, but you also don't have on shoulder pads, a helmet. You're also not coming off somebody just hit you. You know what I mean? Like you get the blocks fresh. That's the first thing you did all day when you run that 100. He been running routes all day and, 22.6 miles per hour. Not even a speeding ticket in a residential area, but for a human being, that's pretty fast.
That's really fast.
I think he could do something. They say if he runs a 10-2, he gets Olympic trials. I just like to see it.
What is the over-under? What do you think? Or what would you handicap the percentage of him actually making the Olympic team? As run 10
making the team, 0% chance.
0%?
To make the team, 0. To make the Olympic trials, I'm going to say 50-50 to make the Olympic trials. I give him something I had. But to make put on a USA jersey and not be playing football or nothing,
right?
0.
He's got to run 10-2 to make the trials. You think that's not going to happen either?
I think 10-2 is. I gotta say it's a possibility. I don't know if what he been training though. I don't know.
I don't know what he's gonna do, man. But it's gonna be entertaining. I love to see that type of buzz. He clocked top speed at 22.64 was the mile per hour gauge that they put on him. Somebody must have been one of those police scanners or whatever. They had him at 22.64. All of them nerds that thought they couldn't be in sports, they are officially in sports because they out there clocking human beings. So all y'all nerds, come on, man.
With pads.
with pads on and in a play where most people would have given up because he was too far behind. So we'll see. I hope he doesn't pull something. That's the biggest thing. Let's pray for his hamstrings.
Those hammies.
Pray for them hamstrings.
When you got all that muscle on top.
Yeah, man, because you see them little lightweight, 130-pound featherweight dudes coming out the blocks rolling, and you might tense up trying to go catch him. I hope he does not pull.
I hope he don't just get close and tackle somebody at the end. Like I had a flashback. I just horse collar.
Hey, when he shows up at the blocks in the shoot, as they call it, 100-meter shoot, just imagine what that's gonna look like. They're gonna be like, man, there go Debo. Debo.
He gonna look so big. He gonna look like a D lineman.
Gold medals. He came to take our gold medal. Good work, DK Metcalf. It is a fair fight. I've been telling all of these 7-on-7 gurus, guys that want to play football year round, you want to be a better football player. If you want to have the whole mojo of the Florida swag, and I ain't gonna brag about how many guys we just got drafted NFL draft. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to do that. Broward County, South Florida.
You should. Okay, let's just move on.
I'm not going to say.
Since we're not doing it, let's just next.
But the reason that happens is because track is the cousin of football in Fort Lauderdale and South Florida and all of Florida in general. And I've been telling people this. DK Metcalf, this is good for the sport of football. DK Metcalf, this is good for the sport of track. Florida? DK Metcalf is not from Florida.
Okay, so your point is what?
But my point is that track is going to benefit and football is going to benefit from this display.
Cross-pollination. You got to just bring the fans back and forth. It's like a collabo.
On NBC, baby. Let's go DK Metcalf. Represent for all the receivers, all the football players that always wanted to race the track athletes. First of all, don't pull your hamstring. Second of all, make it at least look good. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got
a boy from Mississippi. And the Mississippi boy can run down there a little bit too.
Yeah, it can.
So you better watch out.
We'll see what he does, man. In the same spirit of folks just putting it on the line and making sure that they display and show off their fast twitch muscles. Michael Vick, man, 40 plus years old. Michael Vick ran a 4.7, and he was kind of disappointed in his performance.
He said, "I don't have it anymore."
4.7. 4.7, still faster than Patrick Mahomes, faster than a lot of current successful NFL quarterbacks. Michael Vick at 40-something years old. And this all spurs from the whole run, Rich, run. We know Rich Eisen runs the 40 every year, which I think is cool.
What did he run this year?
I didn't see his time. This year. I don't know. Because normally they do it around the combine. And because there was not a combine, they did it in conjunction with the draft. And so I'm normally dialed in. I wasn't dialed in this year. It was like an after the fact. I didn't realize that he was still going to do it. They've turned it into a charitable effort and they're raising money. So great for them. But Michael Vick, 40 plus years old, running a 4.7. Is he the baddest man in the world? Is he telling Father Time, you could take your hat, your coat, and you leave? You ain't messing with me. 4.7. What do you say?
Respectable. The man's living a clean life, right? That's all you know. He's living a clean life because there's so many opportunities for pull muscles, hips, hamstrings. Rich Eisen ran a blazing 6.03. I think that's a PR, a 6.03.
He gets faster and faster every year, which is also impressive.
That's very impressive and stuff. He might be on PDs. I don't know. That's those times. I think he still wears a suit. Doesn't he still wear a suit? Yeah, he still rocks a suit. Is that the same as Metcalf wearing full equipment when he ran?
No. Because he's in suit and they make the suits a little more relaxed now. He always got sneakers on.
He don't really feel a suit
down in South Florida, we running church shoes. That's how you know whether or not somebody's fast. If you can put him in church shoes right out of church.
No, he don't have on church shoes. That would be fantastic. If he had on some penny loafers.
That's when you know you're doing it. Anytime
on some gym shoes, running he has church socks on though. I believe he still has on church socks.
Got the church socks.
So he actually getting a little slower, man. He ran a 5.98. That's a big when you go to that next click. So he's got to be thinking about shutting it down. You know what I mean? 5.98 last year. He ran a 6.02, 6.03. Was it win aided? I wonder.
I don't know. Oh, so he ran slower this time. He's been getting faster and faster. But that's impressive, man, because he's 80 million years old. Rich Eisen. I'm not going to say that. But he's much older than Michael Vick. So to be even in the range of 6 seconds, most people, let's just put it out there, most people wouldn't even run. Like most people that you work with. In corporate America, what do you think that the average time would be? In corporate America, 40-yard dash, what do you think most people will run? Just in your mind, just
most people are we putting in men, women, old, young, everybody?
Anybody you work with,
I
Anybody
think
you
Rich
work.
Eisen would probably be middle of the. No, he'd probably win his heat.
He would win
6:02.
his heat with most people. Most people that you work with won't run faster than 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
8.
You can count that like a ref. Like 1, 2.
Think about it, man.
3. I don't know.
Most people don't have
6'5" probably. You got to think about
6'5". That's rolling, bro.
You think
That's
so?
rolling. Yes, that's rolling. Most people not running 6'5". You give it.
You know
too
what
much
I think
credit
is, to be
people.
honest with you? I think most of the people you work with wouldn't make the full 40 yards.
Nah, they wouldn't make it. They would do something.
They're jogging at the end. They
Sniper!
could not.
There go that hamstring.
There's a little bit of conditioning that's involved to make the full 40. It doesn't seem like much.
Thank you.
But you're not gonna make the full. You might stop at 20. If something doesn't pull, you're gonna be winded. You're gonna slow down. You're gonna decelerate. And they're gonna say, "Finish to the line. Finish to the line." Conditioning.
It shows you because that the whole water cooler talk at the office. Everybody's got to critique. Where such and such didn't run as fast as we thought he would.
How fast did you thought you would when you came to college? What was your 40? What did you claim your 40 time was in high school? And then when they told you the truth in college, what was it? What was the difference?
No, I was faster in college because I got stronger. I claimed a 4.5 and I ran average 4.5. My fastest was a 4.42, which was my fastest. In the spring we used to time. Yeah. So
who was your strength coach?
I had two. I had you put me on the spot. I had Big Mick Marotti at the end, who was with Ohio State. I'm assuming he's still at Ohio State.
Wasn't there?
Schmitty had left. Who was after him? Wolfo. I had Wolfo. Coach Kurt Wolfo.
Smitty would tell everybody, he'd give you everybody like in the sprint, like winter condition, they'll make you run.
Yep.
He'd have told you about a 4.6, and then at the end of summer, he'd told you it was a 4.41. Then the combine would come and let you know that he was lying. The whole time.
He was lying. He was
everybody. There was so much disappointment on pro day. People running their 40s.
How about you? Fastest 40?
My fastest 40 I ever clocked was probably freshman year in high school. I ran a 4.8 something.
4.8. All right, that's impressive, man. Because you probably freshman year in high school.
I wasn't that sexy back then. I was skinnier, so that was decent speed. Like I had game speed though. Like, I was trying to do that. Like you probably in a 40 clock would give me, but like I'll catch a dude out the backfield, or I catch running back. I could chase him down. I could accelerate.
You had the motivation. You looked at him out the backfield like, I got this. I got this. I catch a tight end. I had the opportunity to play in the NFL, and we are in Cleveland at the time. We go from Chris Palmer as our head coach to Butch Davis. Butch Davis, coming from the college level, decides in his infinite wisdom that he wants to see what the speed is like on his roster, and he decides to tell all the vets, we are going to run a 40-yard dash. Now, at that point, we had all sort of put in our resignation papers when it came to 40-yard dashes, because when you run for the Scouts, you then say, I'm done. Most guys that just ran for the Scouts and after the draft day, in their minds, they're thinking, I will never, ever run another 40. Y'all got the last one out of me. God bless you. Never run a 40. So imagine that, vets in the 10th year of their career, or guys like me trying to make the team. I'm on the second year of my career. And he tells us we going to run a team organized 40-yard dash. Man, you had so many fake injuries. Dudes was in the training. Dudes straight up pretended like they was hurt. And Butch Davis, I got my issues with him. That's my biggest issue. Stop trying to make people run a 40. Grown men. We done with that. We professional.
No more checking IDs. We done.
That's why it's impressive that Rich Eisen keeps doing it.
I love him for it. He trains the whole year. That's his marathon.
Volunteers to do it. He volunteers to do it. All right, but you know what it is. Michael Vick, Newport News. There's another Newport News, a VA bad, what they call it, bad news, whatever they call it. But Newport News, Virginia, there's another figure from that area, a friend of Michael Vick, a mentor of Michael Vick that's been in the news this week because AI all of a sudden has been drawn into the news because of this Russell Westbrook talk. Scott Brooks came out the side of his face and said Russell Westbrook is going to go down as the number 2 point guard of all time. Your boy, Big Kendrick, I almost called him something. I almost talked about his features facially. You don't talk about nobody kids. You ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing at all. But Kendrick Perkins had the audacity to say that Russell Westbrook, when it's all said and done, is going to have a better career, go down on his all-time list higher than AI.
So you're denying that?
Absolutely.
So tell me why is AI better than Russ?
AI is absolutely better than Russ.
In what way?
in every way. In
Name
every
one.
single way, he was a better scorer. He was a better just a basketball player. I mean, both of them have a total of 1 championship. So I know we use the whole how many rings you got.
Got a total of how many championships?
1. Both
0.
got 1.
Both got 0.
1. No, they well, when I say championships, played in championships. Been to championships.
So they both got 0.
They both got 0 rings, but they both played in 1 championship. So what's the difference?
Okay, so there you throw that out. So neither one of them will ever be a champion, right? So we got that. Russ still has a chance.
Does not have a chance. He plays for the lowly Wizards. He ain't going to no champ. If he go to championship, he's gonna be sitting right next to you and me. He's gonna be in the stands.
But okay, so now we got to go to since neither one of them are champions, right? We figured that out. I think both of them are the kind of people you categorize as guys that probably couldn't win a champ because there's something about them. But Russ is averaging a triple-double. If he gets 0 points the rest of the year, zero stats the rest of the season and plays in all the games, he still averages a triple-double for the season. AI has got maybe a double assist.
In fact, hold on, I'm sorry. Russell Westbrook has never been to a championship. He was close.
He lost in the semis.
They lost in the conference finals. Right?
I didn't want to argue with you. That's what I thought, though. But
they lost the conference. So I gave him more credit. But go ahead.
Yeah, so you made a championship, lost championship. But anyway, at the end of the day, I don't think there's a. I was about to say something.
But look how good that team was that lost in the Western Conference Finals. Whereas look how bad the team was that AI took to the finals and won a game against the
one season does not a career make.
No, okay, so it doesn't. One season doesn't. But
they're both stat guys. They're both guys, individual guys. So AI's got a lot of finesse, but he don't have that power. He's just going to come and smash on your face the way Westbrook can. Neither one of them can shoot the three. Neither one of them has any business shooting threes.
Russell Westbrook is the mad rapper, and Allen Iverson's game was a different kind of angry. He was scoring because he had a chip on his shoulder. They both have won a total of 1 season league MVP, and that's where they were both in their careers. Russell Westbrook's not going to get another MVP.
Yeah, AI, best popularity contest. Back there, AI was. He was trying to come out. People didn't like all the braids and all that kind of stuff. Too many people that didn't like that wasn't going to vote for him. But he was never really MVP-ish. He was playing with Jordan, who was in the league the whole time he was in the league.
He got the Jordan asterisk. But look what he did to Jordan. Most memorable plays. Crossed him over. One of the most memorable plays NBA all time.
Who has Westbrook not dunked on that plays in the NBA right now?
Oh, no. He dunks on people.
He probably dunked on KD when he played for us.
We're not talking about people. We talking about the GOAT. We talking about Michael, Jordan, MJ.
He crossed him over.
Crossed him up. Had his hips looking like he was Deion, backpedaling against Jerry Rice. Had his hips all open and everything. I mean, who does that against
the worst? Is he let him recover. I want to make sure it wasn't a fluke and gave it to him again.
Now you finna get this work again. Then I'm gonna get this J in your face. Let's look at their quick stats. All right, all NBA first team. Allen Iverson 3 times, Russell Westbrook 2 times. But on the flip side of that, all the NBA teams, no matter what level, first, second, or third, Allen Iverson had 7. Russell Westbrook has 9 appearances. Scoring leaders, Allen Iverson was the scoring leader 4 times, Westbrook 2 times. I could stop there, but that would undermine the argument because we know Russell Westbrook. And this week, we got to celebrate the fact that he is one triple-double away from tying the big old Oscar Robertson. So I hate to put salt on the man's name. I'm forced to do this because Kendrick Perkins, I'm not going to do it. I said I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Kendrick Perkins is the one who brought Allen Iverson into this, man. Because I hate to put salt on your name this week, Russell Westbrook, because that's impressive. 1 triple-double shy of the Oscar Robertson, and chances are he'll pass with 6 games left in the season. If he had all zeros across the board for the last 6 games, he would still average a triple-double for the season yet again. I think it's the 4th straight year, but he's hats off to him. But I would say he's more of a stat stuffer. He's a stat stuffer.
He is, but so is AI. So is AI. He's a stat stuffer too, except for he only like 1 stat, and that's scoring. That's the only stat he likes.
That's the stat he went with. He was going with the stat. I got to know, man. Let's ask our audience, man. Who do y'all think is the better player? AI, Allen Iverson, the answer, or Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook don't even have a nickname, man. Like, come on. The answer,
He doesn't.
Russell Westbrook does not have. I call him the Mad Rapper, but he does not
He doesn't have a nickname.
You think that he would, Mr. Triple Double or something, right? Because that
you know what though? If he didn't like your nickname, he might punch you in your face.
Punch you right in your lip, right in your lip.
He's scared to give it to him.
I say the similarity is Russell Westbrook and Allen Iverson both play basketball like football players, but they just have a different impact on the game. To me, Allen Iverson is in that whole cloth of changing the game infinitely, making it such that it'll never be the same. I rock the cornrows, the baggy pants. I rock those crossover Reeboks. I tried to master the crossover. There's nothing that Russell Westbrook does in particular that has changed the game such that I went to the court and tried to emulate Russell Westbrook.
Well, we can't. I mean, okay, so you can't change the game. There's only so many changes to the game, right? So since he's not shooting Steph Curry threes or whatever, he's doing triple doubles like they're easy, right? That's changing the game. Who else is doing triple doubles like that?
I know a guy or a young man in the AAU level, but nobody in the NBA.
Yeah, right. So that's my thing. It's like, okay, so he brought cornrows and tattoos and stuff to the NBA, and that's what it was. Yeah. He brought hip hop to the NBA.
He did.
God
Big
bless
chain.
him for that.
Big old Dookie chain. He had the Dookie chain.
I like Allen Iverson more. Like I appreciate him more. Just
but
as
you think when it's all said and done, Russ was a better basketball player?
He is. It's not even a question.
I don't see how, man. You see, you one of them guys that like all the other stat lines. To me, I'm like, I need my point guard / shooting guard /
Can you really call? Let me ask you this: can you really honestly sit there and call Allen Iverson a point guard? He don't have no assists. All he did is score. He just was.
He had an assist to himself. That's what he did. He crossed it over. He took it from his right hand.
Put it in his left hand. I had the ball with the right hand before I put it with the left hand before I scored. But Russ actually doing point guard stuff.
But yet and still, because we look at assists and we usually form a narrative that he makes his teammates better, right? Mm-hmm. Yet and still, Allen Iverson did more with less. He took that team, which was Allen Iverson and the Bad News Bears. There's no way you can name that starting five. I know Eric Snow was in there, Aaron McKee was in there, and the rest of them, you say Mutombo. I don't know if Mutombo was still in the starting five. I think he was. I don't know, but the rest of them
was over there. I think Iguodala was there,
and them. You're gonna say Allen Iverson, them. That's how you gonna describe that
brother
team.
That could jump real high. What was his name? That was over there.
And them. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna finish that with them. Williams, I think it was the guy you talking. But
you're right. You're right. He took
that team. Right? That sounds like you wouldn't show up on a high school basketball court with that team. And he took that team to the NBA.
I love how far people go with stuff. You couldn't go to an AAU tournament in Queens with that team and
not
come
with that
with
team.
Nobody. But Allen Iverson brought them to the NBA championship.
Yeah, that boy was good. That boy was 137 years old. Nah, I really do love Allen Iverson, so I might be a bit biased. But shout out to Russ Westbrook.
But Russ better.
You think Russ is better? Yeah, it's tough to argue because yet again he's averaged triple-double over the entire season. Very impressive. Let's look now at the other Allen Iverson news because he has this tournament. We talked about it earlier throughout the season for Ball Hog Sports Talk. He's got this classic that he's going to be holding down in Memphis, which will be May 8th. That's tomorrow. And while there's several storylines to that classic, he's got the top player, the big kid from the big 7-foot kid. I can't say his last name. Chip, whatever his name, big tall white kid. He's playing it. Chet Holmgren is playing in it. He's got other superstars playing in it. I would argue that the best storyline is that he has a particular person playing in this game by the name of Raven Johnson. She will be among the players playing in this classic. She's a point guard that has balled out over the last several years. She's committed to South Carolina. She's going to be playing for Dawn Staley. I love watching her. I watched her play in the national title game on TV, and great player. But now she's among the players playing in this classic. Do you think it is gotten to that point where she's a point guard? So, she's someone that's in the backcourt. Have we gotten to the point where that the young ladies, the girls, I can still call her a girl, young woman, is so good that they can play with these young men on the basketball court? Or is this just a political, or not political, but a market
publicity stunt? It's a publicity stunt. I mean, shout out to AI for inviting her, giving her a chance to go. But no, she can't play with these boys. And I've never seen her play. And I'm just going to say a blanket no. She's 5'8".
You just undermined your own argument. You never seen her play. She can play.
And I'm still telling you no, confidently. I'll still go all in blind. I'm not even going to look at my cards.
Like, I'm good.
I'm good. She's 5'8". She's gonna probably be a great player in the WNBA someday. She'll be a college player.
Very good guard.
But you can't play with these boys that's dunking from the free throw line, that's faster than you, bigger, stronger, faster. Now, if they give her some size, I don't know if she's a shooter. Yeah, I'm sure she could probably knock down.
Yep.
Yeah, if she's a shooter, she can knock down points. I mean, the basket's the same size, ball's a little bit bigger, but she can come out here and make some shots and do that. But she's not gonna. She might cross up. She might do an AI cross.
What do you think her stat line would be? Because I'm sure that the people who have organized this classic, the people that invited her, are going to make sure she gets some playing time. What do you think her stat line would be?
So even though I said that, she'll probably give you 12 because she's going to hit some open jumpers. Nobody going to block.
You know, so you think the fellas are going to relax a little bit?
Well, here's the thing. The defense you're going to play against her is going to be kind of light because if she gets you – the risk reward.
Somebody gonna withdraw their offer. They'll be like, Michigan State gonna call you.
But she's gonna stat line. She might actually do all right because nobody's really gonna sit there. First of all, if you just body her up and take it, now you're a bully.
Yeah.
But if she crosses you up and she catches you reaching, she gets you one time, you got to carry it. So she's gonna get a lot of wide open looks. They're just gonna stand in the paint and be like, all right, if you drive, we're gonna block it, but you can shoot jumpers. So I'm gonna give her 12 points.
12 points.
Zero rebounds, 0 steal, maybe 1 steal. And I bet you should probably
I think that's worse. If you get your cookie snatched.
She's not gonna do that. She's gonna catch a little lane thing. Somebody's gonna throw the ball across the lane sloppy.
Someone else gonna tip it. She's gonna be there.
So I'm gonna give her 12 points. We'll come back next week, talk about 12 points, 1 steal, and I'm gonna say 2 to 3 assists.
2 to 3 assists. All right. I don't know, man. I saw her play. And
I'm predicting one of those is going to be an oop, just for everybody.
That would be that in itself. That highlight a young lady.
One going to be an oop. I said it first, right here. Right. I know we record the show. Right here, we said in the BallHog Sport Talk, she's going to get an oop.
She's going to get an oop. That to me, that's Sports Center top 10. If she throws an oop in the game, that's Sports Center top 10. I hope she does well. She seems like an amazing young lady too.
I want to watch the game.
No, I'm gonna definitely watch it. I think that just like the DK Metcalf thing, some things that you put in your programming will draw in sports enthusiasts. And that one,
I didn't know there was a track meet tomorrow if it wasn't for Metcalf, and I don't know when her basketball game is.
No one like this track meet itself has become bigger because DK Metcalf, and I think that this classic, Allen Iverson in its earliest stages, is now on the map with this classic. Chet Holmgren is a big name. He is the number one player. He's a baller. But I think that the storyline became even bigger because of Miss Raven Johnson. And that's how the rich keep getting richer. How does Don Staley get her as a point guard? I think she's going to mold her. I hope you dominate Raven. And I hope we get to the point where it's not a story. Because Raven Johnsons of the world, these young ladies that have amazing skills when it comes to being ball handlers and dribbling in the backcourt and doing whatever they need to do and being wizards in terms of finding their teammates. It normally happens on courts that aren't dominated by just boys, right? They play, by just girls. They play on all types of courts. They play across genders. They play against boys. So I'm hoping it's not a story soon.
We had a legendary girl named Jackie White. When I was growing up, we had an 8th grade.
You ain't even gotta tell me the way you brought her name up just now. That you just
we played 8th grade. We played in summer league and fam. These parks had like 9.5-foot rims because somebody don't know how to measure, right? So they put the summer league there so people could get their first dunks off.
Right.
She was the 3rd pick in the draft, Jackie White, and it wasn't a reach because she was because back then, there was still limited. The athleticism was there, but she crossed you up. But it was, I believe.
So when she crossed you up, how did you explain
she
that?
Didn't cross me up because I was a center.
She got you, man.
She never got me.
I love that.
I believe she got picked before me. I don't remember. I can't believe. I don't know if I went 2nd or 4th, but I think she got picked before. She was cold though. Jackie could hoop. Shout out to Jackie White.
That got to be humbling too when everybody on the gate waiting to be picked and they pick the young lady before you. Like,
this is a whole league. This ain't like just at the park. This is like a draft with the league. We did tryouts.
And she got
She was a top 3 pick. I can't remember. I wish somebody from Evanston was watching right now, class of 91, to figure out. But she went in the draft. She was a lottery pick.
Lottery pick in the draft.
Can't remember she went before me.
I witnessed it. I did this was when I was when I was playing the NFL. I would come back to South Bend to do my off seasons because that I wanted to work out there. I didn't want to be in South Florida because there's a few distractions. So instead, I went to South Bend, and I was a 53 and a half guy. I'm just trying to make the team, so I had to make sure I avoided the distractions. So I would be in South Bend, Indiana. I did this after school program, and I got to see a young lady dominate boys, make them look stupid. And this young lady was a beautiful little girl. It just defied all logic. Like most little girls that were that aesthetically pleasing, beautiful little girls were playing with something, Barbie dolls and dresses. They weren't handing out body bags and taking souls on the basketball court. But this young lady was. She ended up being an all-time great at Notre Dame, Skylar Diggins. I saw her as a young girl. And just know that what you see now, I got to see at an early stage. But I got to tell my
Skylar Diggins story real quick. Go ahead. My son loved Skylar Diggins. I mean, loved her. I think he was probably in first grade when she was in college, maybe like third grade.
Yep.
But like in his mind, like he thought maybe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe I could take her.
Maybe it's a shot, right? So we were at a spring game, and my son had got a bloody nose or whatever. And, I fixed it up. I seen Skylar coming up the stairs. Spring game is when you go there, you don't see that many people. And I'm like, hey, Skylar, will you take a picture of my son? He was like, no, man, my nose. Like, chill. Like, right? Like you don't want to ruin this shot.
Here's my chance. I'm about to shoot my shot.
Put a little piece of paper out your nose and take a picture with Skylar Diggins. But he was like, nah, dude, come on, man, chill. Like, I'm not at my best. Skylar,
this is my shot. You about to mess it up, Dad.
Skylar, man, give him another shot now. He grown up now. I know you grown. You probably
married now. She married
now. If it don't work out. If it don't work out.
You always got to have a plan B.
Get your Stella get her groove back now because my son, he a man now. His nose don't bleed like
grown man now. Going to Northwestern too, so gonna be educated. Man.
Education. Skylar Diggins, he's gonna come find you one day.
So we'll see what you do, Raven Johnson. Make the most of the opportunity, man. Mars versus Venus is going to be right there in this Allen Iverson Classic. So shout out to Allen Iverson and everyone giving her an opportunity. Well, you know what it is with the Ball Hog Sports Talk, man, where sports, business, and entertainment collide, right? Like we ask you every week, humbly, please like, please comment, please share. Tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anybody that you know. If you're listening to us in the podcast universe, please subscribe. Please tell a friend to subscribe. And with that, because we got sports, business, and entertainment, we got to get into some business.
Let's go.
And it's big business.
Okay.
We talked about Vanessa Bryant being sort of the Warren Buffett of the estate. She is making business moves when it comes to Kobe Bryant and the Mamba mentality. She is now doing so with Gigi as well. The Mambacita clothing.
Hey, Mambacita.
What up, Mambacita?
What's up, Mambacita?
This was the week of her birthday was celebrated over the last 7 days, and they rolled out this Mambacita launch, which is a clothing line. I love to see some of the players, and must be a reoccurring theme here because Allen Iverson was one of them. He donned the.
Did AI get 3 mentions in the show today?
He got 3 mentions, man. See, that alone means that he's better than Russ. He got 3 mentions.
Yeah, as far as mentions go, AI is more newsworthy.
He's a classic, man.
Even in his retirement. Okay.
Even in his retirement, man. But he wore this Mambacita line. Other players wore it. You saw Golden State, their entire team wore it heading into the arena. Matt Barnes also wore one of the hoodies on the All the Smoke podcast, which is a great podcast. Move over, All the Smoke. We coming for you, Ball Hog Sports Talk. Well, shout out to them. They built a great podcast. And shout out to Matt Barnes for wearing the Mambacita clothing line on the podcast. I know what you thought about it, man, but I think that's cool that Vanessa Bryant is taking not only Kobe's legacy and making sure that she runs with it, but also Gigi's legacy and the Mambacita clothing line. On the heels of this Raven Johnson story, Mambacita, Miss Gigi was going to be the face, I think, of women's basketball. I love the relationship they had with UConn. And I love to see that Mambacita lives on.
I like it because it's very Kobe-esque, the way that she's taking control and she's doing it. And she's just like, all right, look, I'm going to have her live on. I'm taking it away. She stepped away. Who has the nerve to step away from the Nike contract? I still believe they're going to figure out a Nike contract, though. But stepped away, come out with her own line, do what she's got to go do, reach out to the people. I love it. You know what I mean? Like, just take it on because she still has other children that need to see strong figure. Not that she wasn't before, but see a strong figure so they can move on and turn out to be very successful folks. So
yes.
If Mamacita, if you make a 4X large, I'll wear one for you.
And if you make a medium, we both go wear it, man. Mamacita, because I'm losing all kind of weight with this doggone COVID thing. Boy, I ain't been in the gym in forever. Mamacita clothing line. We support you here at the Ball.
I ain't worked out. I'm getting skinny. Shut up.
Man, I know, man. It's not. I rarely tell people about that problem because that's what they get upset. Like, wait a minute, wait, you in the gym, you lose weight?
I lost. I'm down a couple pounds, but you can't tell. I'll stand up tomorrow.
There you go, because you got on the spring colors. It's spring now. That's why I rock the spring.
My wife said I got new school clothes. I order new stuff. When you do a podcast, you start realizing how short your wardrobe is. You're like, damn, I don't wear this on the show. I don't wear this on the show. I don't wear.
I got to switch it up. Yeah. But look, we should be wearing Mamacita clothing line. So I gotta look into it, man. Maybe that's
hey, Mamacita, have your people checked with our people, man. See, we'll put you out here. We'll give you some free plug. I know y'all sold out. We'll give you a free plug.
So glad to meet you. Today's episode is Fair Fight, and there has been an interesting fight over the last several days. One that has taken a pretty ugly turn because Aaron Rodgers, who a lot of pundits say is the best. Well, maybe not the best to ever do it, but they're saying he's the best quarterback in modern times. They give him that credit.
Who says that?
A lot of people.
Stop. I feel like I'm on Fox News. Just start off with a lie. No one says that.
Aaron Rodgers statistically, without a doubt, statistically on paper. Now, if we put
you're saying at the same time that the GOAT supposedly is playing, that they saying Rodgers is there. At the same time that Breeze, who's got all the talent in the world, who just retired and they're still telling you still know people at your barbershop.
Yes.
You're telling me where they fleek your mustache at, where they go there. Some of the people in there, it's always the dudes not getting a cut to say the stupid shit. So I bet you I'm telling you, some of those people are telling you that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time.
Aaron Rodgers. Discount double check. On everything. On everything. And there's even people on TV that are still their team Aaron Rodgers. And this week it's been tested because Aaron Rodgers said, I'm done fighting fair. He talked about our man, Brian G. I can't pronounce his last name, too many syllables, so I just say Brian G., the GM of the Green Bay Packers. He called him in a group text.
That's terrible.
Jerry Krause. And if you know the reference, we all saw The Last Dance. That's not a compliment when he called him Jerry Krause.
Anyway, because Jerry Krause was a gross-looking dude.
Gross.
Everybody treated
sloppy and
other than
always,
the fact that he
physically and how he ran business.
Ever.
Yes. He told Phil Jackson, I don't care if you go 82-0, you won't be here next year. I mean, he broke that thing up on purpose. And so Aaron Rodgers calling him Jerry Krause, because he doesn't have the rings that Jerry Krause had. He ain't got 6 rings. So we know that reference wasn't about.
That wasn't it. He did not assemble a super team. That's not it.
So he meant that you got an ego like Jerry Krause. And this ego is about to ruin this thing that we built here in Green Bay. I have 2 issues with the news pieces. So first, how does something that is circulated in a group text become public? Right, so somebody snitches get ditches. Snitches get stitches. There you go, and ditches. But beyond that, because I'm sure no one's gonna dime themselves out who revealed the group text. But beyond that, it's like Aaron Rodgers, man, was Mr. Jeopardy himself. Is now, I think, at the center of this dysfunction. And Terry Bradshaw in this week's episode of Fair Fight on the Ball Hog Sports Talk decided swinging. He called him dumber than a box of rocks. He called him weak.
He said his feet bad. He got a good arm though. Bad. He can release it. He's accurate as hell, but his feet bad.
Feet bad. Saying that his drops are horrible. He just went on and on and on and on. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it here on the Ball Hog Sports Talk. It was a version of white on white crime. It was from a fair fight standpoint. It was completely unfair. You can imagine that they will not do an interview together because Terry Bradshaw has some things to say. About Aaron Rodgers.
Bradshaw, I don't know that much about his history, so I don't want to just go on co-sign. Nowadays, you got to Google somebody for a while before you start co-signing for him. But he got a special place in my heart. One, I'm from Chicago, so I hate Green Bay. So I want, to hell with Aaron
Discount double
Rodgers.
check. Come on, man. Don't be like that.
But at the same time, I feel like people don't equally attack. So they're gonna say, man, if that was Cam, I mean, obviously Cam has nerve saying that, but like if that was this dude or that dude, Russell Wilson, nobody was really supporting that, anybody. But I like that he's attacking him. Like, he's doing wrong. Attack him like you would attack us. I appreciate you, Terry. You can come to the barbecue. Terry can come to the barbecue.
You absolutely call a black quarterback cancerous for making these same accusations.
And that's what he's doing. So I appreciate him for that.
Yeah. Do you think Aaron Rodgers lands somewhere else, or is he in a Green Bay uniform next year?
I think he's in a Green Bay uniform next year, unless you get a blockbuster trade. I had to sit here and put some thought as who is a quarterback away. Here's the problem.
A lot of teams one quarterback away.
Okay, but
I'm gonna go ahead and say y'all one quarterback away.
If you're a quarterback away, what do you have to give up for him? He's old too. He's a hamstring away from being done.
Year, I think 38. Yeah, that's not that old. 38.
I mean,
Tom Brady.
To me, I would kill to be 38. You know what I mean? But
as a quarterback,
an athlete, a quarterback, he'll be 38 this year in December. So they're gonna want so much because their whole. Unless they think the young boy is ready. If they think the young boy is ready, you kind of give him up. I don't know where he is in his contract, but I think he's still on the team.
I'm just tripping off this whole disrespect thing, right? Because people that I like, the pundits on TV that I like, have supported this idea that Green Bay was disrespectful in drafting Love in the first round last year without letting Aaron Rodgers
I'm just gonna say. That's a hell of a whatever statement with emojis. I can't even.
My man, Big Cam. What up, Big Cam?
Big Cam, what's up? Appreciate you watching the show. Could you put the cliff notes up there a little bit? What you wrote, man.
He called him a cancer too. I mean, Rodgers ended up with the Dolphins. How many first round picks? Look, Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying. How many first round picks you give him for a 37-year-old dude?
We are good in Cleveland. I like my quarterback, but I think that you would give up at least. You got to give up at least. See. Here's. I think we're going at it wrong. I think what Green Bay really needs to be talking about is whether or not they could trade the first rounder that they drafted last year in Love and get something and preserve the relationship with Aaron Rodgers. I think that's the only thing that
are we hearing about Love? I'm not hearing like he's killing in practice or he's doing this, he's coming along. Have you heard that?
I have not, but I haven't followed it. He's considered the future. My man Big Cam says as a Dolphin fan that he would give up 2 first rounders. 2 first rounders?
And you got Tua. You don't feel like Tua's just not the guy, huh?
You don't feel like Tua's the guy.
Hey, 1 year he's already. This is a cancel culture.
And he came in with a couch on his hip. His hip bad, man. You need your hips to throw.
Was his hip bad still?
It wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
After that injury, that was a major catastrophic injury. I don't think Tua's the answer. You think Tua's the answer in Miami?
I think the question hasn't been fully asked yet, so you can't tell me if you have to answer. It's 1 season. That's what we give people, 1 season.
Hey, you gotta win, man. These GMs don't get too many seasons.
They don't get.
You can't just wait. You cannot wait. And so that's why the question of how many first rounders do you give up?
Okay, can Miami win a Super Bowl right now with Aaron Rodgers? Are they Aaron Rodgers?
Oh yeah, I think Miami could. The Dolphins could. There's only a few teams that could win right now with them, and I'll give you credit. Although I can't stand the Bears.
I'll give up picks. I can't give up players.
You're willing to give up picks and not players.
Well, here's my thing: is you're taking an older quarterback like this. It's because you're trying to do what Tampa did, right? You want to win right now. Take your team now, then change it right now. Yeah. And if you're going to win right now, you can't give up your pieces. You have to take you got to give up the future and just take the right now. Hope you can get 2-3 Super Bowls out of them, and then whatever, we're going to start get your picks back. But you can't give up. The problem with the Aaron Rodgers trade is going to be, I want him, 2 of them. And 2 picks. And the next thing you know, you suck.
But they have not. In Aaron Rodgers' era, they've drafted, I think, 1 skilled player to complement him in the first round. In his entire time there.
What did they get this year? O-lineman?
This year they might. I don't. Only because you asked. And I'm focused on last year when they used the first rounder when they hadn't built around Aaron Rodgers. They used a first rounder for his replacement. So
can you be that soft? I mean, that's so soft that you
why is that soft? Why's that soft? You don't think he deserves the respect? Because and I'm sort of.
You think they told Brett Favre they were taking Aaron Rodgers? You think they called him and brought him to the house?
No. So they made the same mistake twice.
That wasn't a mistake.
It was a mistake in the sense that it immediately ended the relationship with Brett Favre.
Shit, he played 3 or 4 more seasons.
What do you mean?
Brett Favre played 3 or 4 more years with this dude on the bench.
Granted, but the relationship was soured at that moment. The relationship was soured at that moment. They made the same mistake twice. Fool me once.
It was not a mistake. Stop saying it. Because Brett Favre still played. Aaron Rodgers is fantastic.
It was not.
It was the blueprint.
It was not a mistake from the personnel decision, and I can't say that drafting Love was a mistake from a personnel decisions framework.
Drafted a corner.
But I will say this: it is almost impossible to deny that the way you do something impacts a relationship, especially with your quarterback.
Just being soft, man. They're going to draft another quarter. You 20, you 38. What you think you're going to play till you're 48?
Garoppolo got that respect this year. Garoppolo got that respect. And Garoppolo on paper is not in the same category as Aaron Rodgers.
So what do you mean say he got the respect? What respect?
Meaning that the front office let them know they're trading up to the 3rd pick, and they're doing so probably because they're going to draft a quarterback. They picked up the phone and
pack your shit. That means pack your shit is what they said. They was telling them, get ready, be ready. Hey, be ready, dog. Hey, don't buy that. Don't put the addition on the house. Yeah. That's what they was telling him. That's what they were trying to be nice.
All the prominent names, quarterbacks, seem to get that respect and get a call and say, hey, we're thinking about doing this. And we know that unfortunately, for whatever reason, Green Bay didn't make that call. And so the relationship has now been soured.
Let me ask you this question, because, Green Bay is the only team in the NFL that's not owned by a person, right?
Right.
Or a family. It's owned by the city of Green Bay.
Right.
You feel like there's some disconnect when it comes to that kind of stuff that's handled differently. I mean, who makes that? Because, the owner has a GM, but who make if the city of Green Bay owns their own team, who has that final call? You know what I mean? Who makes that gut decision? You think that's where it comes from?
I think it's more on it's sort of it's form over substance when it comes to who owns the team. I think it's a great story, but when it's said and done, if you buy stock in the team, it's worth the same thing that stock in my NBA.
I'm not saying it's just how things are handled. They handle this more like a corporation. The feel good. Each organization has a face and a feel good. Like Jerry Jones and what was my man that was with the Raiders forever? Al Davis. They all have different things you just know about the owner. Robert Kraft. All these owners that come out. Well, you don't have a Green Bay, who is the guy? You can't even. The GM's name is hard to pronounce.
Ryan G.
You don't know who they're talking about, man. So they do things differently over there.
I don't know, man. I think that they should at least call them. So, and you talk about a fair fight. I don't think it's fair to now judge him as being childish, as being immature, as being petulant, as being selfish, as being cancerous. If you don't at least acknowledge that in most situations, let alone he went out and had an MVP season subsequent to them drafting Love in the first round. I just think that you should have gotten a call at least text something, smoke signal, tweet, a DM.
I'll give you that. It couldn't hurt. He couldn't stop you from picking them.
In this week also we saw, because we're thinking about who the Green Bay did draft. Let's talk about who did not get drafted in the 2021 season. And who did not get drafted are any and all HBCU players. Well, if you watch the if you watch the Ball Hog Sports Talk regularly, you know that we've had an HBCU series. We celebrated what we've called the Deion effect. Well, Deion was on the defensive in terms of his own impact on HBCUs, but also on the defensive, saying that he played against a bunch of players. He saw a bunch of talent. It's inexplicable that the NFL draft goes through all 7 rounds and not a single name is called with an HBCU player being featured in that name. There were 2 HBCU players, not one, but 2 HBCU players that played in the Senior Bowl. That used to be an automatic assumption that you would at least get drafted. They had a HBCU combine this year. So how could we now be moving in reverse? HBCU players getting drafted is now become sort of a norm. It's not as frequent as Alabama.
It's not a norm. I see that. I think that's. I'm gonna go look. I'm all for this push, right? I've been pushing for it. First of all, before we go further, I got to give a quick shout out to my niece, Danielle Florima, just signed with the HBCU, Delaware State, to do the triathlete, be a triathlon person at Delaware State. She's gonna start there this fall. Love you, baby girl. Proud of you. Go to the Bees or something. She said some weird bee name or something. Delaware.
You're gonna have to get the mascot right. You're gonna give her a shout out.
I got the fight song on my phone now, but she signed with Delaware State last week. She's gonna go to HBCU. Shout out. Okay. Shout out. But we come back. Shout out, Danielle. All right. So anyway, 9 times. This is the 10th. This is 9 times in the last 20 years they haven't had an HBCU got drafted. I think the most they've ever had, they're the Hornets, but the most they've ever had was 3 in a season or something like that. It's not that crazy. And then you talk about COVID where they canceled their season. Half of the dudes was playing in the fall. It's already a long shot in reach. I think, what is it? It's not like we don't draft black people. So what's going on, man? What do we I
don't know, man. It just seems in the year where you have the HBCU combine, and the year that the HBCUs have had more,
they didn't like nobody
coverage.
They went to the combine, they didn't like nobody.
I know, but the HBCU had how when 2 of them played.
What you mean how? They didn't like anybody.
Look, I just don't think it's possible. I think that there's something in the air. I don't want to say it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. But how not one? Come on. There's been years,
just like 9 other times in the last 20 years, that not one has got picked.
It just doesn't seem right when there's been more coverage than ever.
Yeah, they played during the draft. There was an HBCU game during the draft. They cut the commercials and they showed you who got picked. Y'all playing now. You're not even trying to play.
But there were FCS players that got drafted under the same circumstances. I watched South Dakota State play.
FCS players get drafted on a larger number than HBCUs anyway.
My point is that playing in the spring should not undermine your draft status.
Nobody who played in the spring in the FCS got drafted.
Well, a lot of the high-profile players that knew they were going to get drafted,
they opted out.
They opted out. But
do you know about HBCUs? Ain't nobody opt out and think. Well, actually, I think someone did opt out. I don't know.
Then the NFL opted out on them too because no players. And do you think this whole Deion is being selfish? Because there's a whole new. We've embraced it. We called it the Deion effect. We've said that Deion's role in the HBCU historical narrative should be celebrated. There are others who say that Deion has made it all about Deion and not about the HBCUs and their programs, and he has been a problem versus being valuable to HBCU football. Is this just hating? Is this crabs in the barrel? Because
we talking about the Deadspin article. Karan J. Phillips from the Deadspin article talking about this being about Deion. He
ain't no I in team. There's an I in the middle of Deion.
There for sure is. But I think it's one of the biggest hater reaches around. He's talking about he didn't care about.
You getting the Haterade award.
Haterade. He got Haterade on his breath. His Haterade alcohol level. He didn't do a breathalyzer for it. He didn't care about HBCUs till he coached there. His son wouldn't have went to one if he didn't do it. No shit. Of course his son would not have went to Jackson State if he wasn't coaching there. He said he put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, one of them was already at South Carolina. Yeah, absolutely.
Shut up is what I want to tell the dude. Come on, man. You making this story. Trying to make a negative light about Deion. He's just about himself. Deion got a Pepsi. The Pepsi contract was for the whole league or the whole conference or whatever. It wasn't just for his school. Yep, he's talking about different things. He's bringing attention. His success level needs to be. I did notice some stuff in that article about how he was 5-3. He had a forfeit. And he played a team that was 1-10 last year. So you tell me what his real record is. So maybe he hasn't done as well as he's supposed to. But that even him losing in HBCU is actually good for HBCU football, because if he just came and walked down the street and took everybody to the cleaners and beat them 100-0, then they'd be like, yeah, the league sucks. But he couldn't come in there and beat some of the teams that they couldn't beat before. So
even with some transfers, what it shows is there's a good talent and some parity there. I agree with you, but it's just interesting because we went from the exact opposite end of the extreme when it came to Deion's impact on HBCUs. And I missed this. I didn't think that this was anyone's belief that Deion is bad for the HBCU football culture, bad for the HBCU institutions and their exposure. And so it's just, I mean, hey, look, we all have different opinions. But this particular opinion is Deion is about Deion and not about the HBCUs. So very interesting.
Disagree.
You disagree.
Final answer.
I would say so too. I gotta disagree. We don't disagree. We don't agree often, but I agree with you on this one, man. In terms of a fair fight, it feels like crabs in the barrel. Like even when someone's trying to do right, you're gonna pull him down and drag his name through the mud. It doesn't feel right to see the article, and the article's gotten a lot of attention. Deion has been on the defensive. If you follow Deion through social media, he's been on the defensive lately when it comes to his role and saying, like, how could you think that me being here is a negative thing? Shout out to Deion, man. I'm still gonna stick with the narrative that him being there, him bringing exposure and light to the HBCU community when it comes to their football programs, but also beyond that, when it comes to the academic opportunities among the HBCUs, I think it's a good thing, man. So shout out to Deion. Hopefully he can shake off the haters. You know what I mean? What's the song? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. That means you're officially popping.
And Scott Bibb, I agree with you. Scott Bibb just said more exposure for HBCUs is positive. Everything we're talking about, no show has gone and talked about HBCUs 5 weeks, 6, 7 weeks in a row. We've been talking about this stuff, and Deion you gotta give him something. There's just basketball news. It's starting a trend. If there's going to be a change, it's going to happen. He's going to have to be looked back as one of the Godfathers. The Godfather of soul.
Godfathers. I will say, since Scott Bibb is also a frequent listener and supporter, he is a graduate of the Clark Atlanta University. So, yeah, man, I think it's a good thing. So we'll see. Deion, keep on shaking off your haters, man. We got to get into entertainment because where sports business and entertainment collide. I'd be remiss before we hop into entertainment to not at least acknowledge that Shaq's youngest son commits to
Texas Southern.
So he's going to an HBCU, and he had said that he wants to change the narrative. So he's gonna go play basketball at Texas Southern. So we'll see if that helps change the narrative. But I don't know, Shaq, you might get accused of being selfish too. Entertainment. Let's hop into some entertainment.
Ain't no I in Shaq.
Ain't no I in Shaq.
But he is in Shaquille.
That's gonna be the headline. You just came up with that headline. Don't give the haters the ammo that they need, man.
I just want to say it first.
You want to be the first. We get acknowledgement. In the entertainment space, LeBron keeps making headlines and mostly for the wrong reasons, because he says that with his tweet about Ma'Khia Bryant, he wants to change the narrative. It shouldn't have been about him. He has now since deleted the tweet. It should have been about the young lady and her family and her legacy. I don't know if you had an opinion one way or another about it, but he is under fire. We saw that the Ohio bar owner said that, he will not show any LeBron games until he's expelled.
I'm mad. We talking about that bar owner. To hell with the bar owner.
That's why I'm calling
I don't know that I agree with the way LeBron is coming. I think he's kind of changing. It sounds like he saw the video again and he doesn't really feel the same way. And so he's like, "Wow, the narrative is wrong. It shouldn't be about me. It should be about these people." That sounds like he's ready for politics. When you spin it like that,
yeah,
just to come out and say you took it down because you shouldn't have put it up there.
Yeah. How about LeBron's comment that whoever came up with this playing concept should be fired? Stop messing with people's employment, LeBron. Everybody ain't got your money, dog.
Man, that's deep. You know what, man? When you in the GOAT conversation, you can say whole shit like that. Like you can say crazy stuff. Because last year they said he was celebrating. I don't know if the memes are true, so I didn't fact check the meme. I saw a meme out there where he was like, "That'd be great. Get the little chillins go out there and play each other to see who gets to come in and play with the big boys at the table." Now he might be at the little boy table. Be like, "Hell no, I'm not probably at the little boy table. One game playing. What if they beat me? You know what that'll do to my legacy? Fire that dude. Fire him."
Imagine LeBron losing in a play-in game, and it won't be just LeBron; it would be the entire Lakers. But the Lakers going the wrong direction. They got injuries, and while hurt, he made this statement. That's why I think they got to give him a little longer after the game. He was salty when asked that question. Whoever came with that SHIT needs to be fired. And he literally had to. When you bleep, somebody mad. And stop messing with people's employment. LeBron, I think you just upset, man. So we shall see. I don't think that we can end the fair fight show without talking about two things. First, we'll touch on this quickly. NHL this week. There was a huge brawl a few nights ago. NHL game, Rangers and Islanders, and literally they put the puck down and they went at it. It was in response to one of the players, NHL players, punching another guy in the back of the head. Only got a $5,000 fine. In the same week that Kyrie gets fined $35,000 for not speaking to the press. And the NHL, somebody only gets $5,000. NHL refuses to suspend this player for punching somebody in the back of their head with a cheap shot.
I call that
on the ice. Yeah. $5,000.
They call that the on-site game.
On-site.
So the on-site game. As soon as it go, drop the puck. With the puck. It's on. And then when the dude came off the bench, because the dude who got the fine wasn't even a starter. As soon as he got on,
the ice, on-site. It just looked crazy. I will say the Rangers look like they got the worst of it. They got whooped all around the ice. And one of the guys got body slammed. Everybody said, "You're going too far." Now, like the Rangers decided that this is what it's an on-site game. But now that someone gets body slammed, they say you're going too far. It is an interesting sport when they allow you to just straight up buck. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say basketball. You remember the what they call the Malice in the Palace. All of them got called thugs.
A couple of them did whoop a few fans, though. I mean, it was a few fans been whooped, but I don't seen baseball player fans get whooped before.
Yeah.
In baseball, they throw the baseball at your head if you do something that they don't like.
Steven Jackson, a little league. Ben Wallace, Ron Artest, they were called thugs. And here it is. It was predetermined. There was no way for that not to be predetermined. On site. When they drop the puck, we buck it. And no one in all of that.
We drop the puck, buck. Let's go.
Drop the puck and we buck it. Nobody's been called a thug. NHL, boy, y'all. Hey, I like watching it, man. In the Fair Fight episode, we had to talk about.
But they say they feel like it's squash now. That's the thing I will say I like about it. They feel like it's the beef is squash. No one got shot. No one got slashed.
NHL might be onto something.
They might be onto something. They've been onto something.
We need to employ some form of that. Like, your boss just be talking outside his neck. Like,
you sack my quarterback, you slam him. I can't punch you in the face and just sit out for a couple plays. I got to be gone for 2 weeks.
I'm saying to the stuff that's relevant to us now. Corporate America, should you just be allowed to, or on Facebook, when somebody just go a little too far, like, all right, meet me at this part and we going to straight up buck on site.
On site.
And then in the Fair Fight episode, we gotta talk about what has now become a celebrity fight club, man. Floyd Mayweather got upset because his detractors are saying you must be out of money. That's the only reason you fighting. Which Paul? Logan Paul? Jake Paul. Logan's brother.
Paul. That's what he's. It's two Pauls. Yeah, it's two Pauls. I think Chris Paul is their cousin.
Yeah. But these dudes became famous because of YouTube. They're YouTubian. A new term that I heard as Dr. Umar Johnson is going at it with your boy. But so YouTubian stars, these Paul brothers, and Mayweather took issue with that. He's like, Bill Gates still making money, Warren Buffett still making money, right?
I believe it's Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Chris Paul, Paul George, Lakers in 6.
Yeah,
we got it.
I like it. I don't care which Paul it is. I don't care which all these Pauls. But now here it is that my man Money Mayweather is being questioned about his money because he's fighting in this exhibition fight. Well, he probably gonna make close to $100 million on some exhibition. Supposed to be an exhibition. His 50-0 is not on the line. There is no title on the line. Yet and still,
hold on a second. Your record ain't on the line.
Record ain't on the line.
What does that mean? You're 50-1? Yes, it is on the line. If dude knocked you out, he beat you. You 50-1.
It's not a pro fight. It's exhibition. Like, he's playing with the Church's money. You playing with the Church's money. He ain't got nothing to lose
with that money.
He went right into the collection play. He's playing with the Church's money. There's no blemish on his legacy if he loses, which I hope he does not. But in the pre-fight shenanigans, which is now just shenanigans, which is, I mean, you talk about entertainment. Somehow, some way, Logan Paul takes Floyd Mayweather's hat off his head.
He wanted to let you know his hand speed was like that. He says, "You're supposed to be defender, right? You're supposed to if you really Floyd Mayweather, you're supposed to boop." He snatched his hat, and then he got snatched up by the body.
You think that was an authentic moment, or was that choreographed?
Absolutely not authentic. Anybody who saw the movie Ali realizes that Logan Paul loves Floyd Mayweather. He's giving him the payday of his life. He's legitimizing him. He's making him out here. Why would you have anything negative? I'm surprised that he would even.
Jake Paul. I'm getting all the Pauls wrong. Jake Paul stole the hat.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Chris Paul, Paul
George.
Paul
Yeah.
I don't care. Boy
Paul
George,
the Apostle, all the Pauls. Whoever did it, it is now made.
Lakers in 6. But anyway, so I said at the end of the day, yeah, that's all fake, man. You're not going to put your hands on a dude who's going to put all that money in your pocket. Are you kidding me? Now, I bet you he was like, when that big ass security guard yoked him up, he was probably like, hey, man, cool out, man. My neck,
my neck, my back, and my back. Chad Johnson's also on this card. Chad Johnson's going to step into the ring and fight. Say again?
He must need the money. What are we doing here? You saw what happened to the last hooper to try to get
But Chad Johnson boxes. I follow Chad Johnson on social media.
Oh, he's nice.
He's nice. He boxes.
Because I don't want to end up like your boy, man, the little point guard, the little dunk contest dude. What's his name? How this whole thing began when he said, they say, you lost when your head and your feet.
You talking about night, Nate. Come on,
Nate got knocked out. His head was to the right and his feet was to the left. And I tried to figure out how that would work. You got to be unconscious for that.
And then Nate was celebrating. Like you beat somebody bad when they celebrating your next fight. When the next fight he beats an MMA fighter faster than he beat Night Nate. And Night Nate was a cheerleader. You done beat the masculinity out of somebody. He over there with pom-poms. Like, I told y'all he was good. He beat me.
I want the dude who beat me to win the whole thing. I told you.
I told you he was good. Chad Johnson stepping into the ring. We'll see what it is, man. Reports are that Jake Paul left with a black eye after stealing Floyd's hat. So that was an expensive hat. He got that black eye. So those reports might have come straight from Money Mayweather's team. Money Mayweather has become not only potentially the best of all time. He knows how to promote a fight, man. Because I gotta admit, I want to see it. I want to see it, and I think I'm gonna pay.
I just don't want to pay. If you have it at your house, man, send me an invitation. I'll bring some. I'll bring a bottle of some. I'm not.
We are not endorsing people stealing the fight on the Ball Hog Sports Talk. But if you do, make sure you call us.
Is that going to be on the same ticket as Tyson and Holyfield or Tyson and Lennox?
No, I don't think.
Does boxing come to that though? Is that where we are? Boxing is we got to get. It's all exhibition.
All just exhibition. Speaking of exhibition, this has been quite the exhibition. It's been the Ball Hog Sports Talk. It has been the Fair Fight episode. Like we ask you every week, humbly, please like, please comment, please share. Tag your friend, tag a foe, tag anybody that you know. If you're listening to us in the podcast world, make sure you subscribe.
Tag anybody named Paul in your friend group.
Anybody named Paul. Tag all the Pauls, y'all. So this is what it is, y'all. We appreciate you, man. It's your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration here with the Big Flow Show. It has been another great week, and we out. Fair fight.
Delaware State Hornets. Let's go.
Oh, the Hornets. Dale State. It ain't been fair, but it was a fight. Y'all check us out, man. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share. We out. Thank you for joining us with the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Peace.